Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kelvin. You can call me Mr. L for short. If you participated in the previous class, people, you know that I was called Mr. L, and it suits perfectly with me. Uh, okay, um, I think we have a presumable amount of known people that we could start with. I'm making some extra arrangements before I start the class, so please bear with me. This will only take a few minutes or less. Okay. Hello, everyone. Um, I'm guessing the feedback.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. All right. Welcome to today's class on sound design and audio production for media. And as you all know, my name is Mr. L. All right. So I'm going to be walking you through. I'm your facilitator for today. So I'm going to be walking you through my class. And this class on sound design and audio production for media. All right. Um, before we get started, I want to be sure that everybody hears me. So if you if you're having challenges hearing me, please indicate on the comment section, on the chat section. Okay. If you are indeed having issues uh hearing me, okay, 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 Chico, okay, you can hear me. Awesome. All right. All right. Fantastic. Loud and clear. I like that stuff. All right. So this is a comprehensive guide to recording, mixing, and mastering audio for film, video, and digital media, from dialogue capture to music integration and mobile production. Um, in our previous class last week, we talked about a lot, and if I remember, my if my memory serves me right, we really dug deep in some parts of sound engineering. And today we are going to be taking it even further uh, from what we looked at last week. Okay. So the picture here is displaying a sound engineer that is in his mixer. So sound design and audio production goes is a faculty of his own. Okay, is a big faculty, and I even wish sometime that the Nigerian government or the education board will add it in our university curriculum. Is a for it to be for it to be a full-time study, because it uh, is indeed a huge and a complex education.
Your
Okay,
network is skipping. Oh, Abi, is it my network? Hear you.
someone say something. You can't hear me, or the images you are escaping. Is this stable now? If yes, you can indicate before we start. Okay, your network and the audio is skipping from your end. It could be possibly a network issue coming from your network provider from your end. So you can try to restart your network, using airplane mode and turning airplane mode on, and then All right, it's stable. It's stable here. Okay, someone said it's stable. You can turn your airplane mode on and then turn it off, so you could force the restart of your network. Okay, let's ride on. All right, the next slide we have opening hook. Opening hook, which feels more real. So imagine two versions of the same scene, one with clean dialogue, rich ambience, and balanced music, the other with noise and balance. Okay, people may watch with their eyes, but they believe with their ears. That is what sound. All right. There might be a mistake on the visual, but the audio, if there's a mistake, even if it's the slightest one, that your audience will notice it. So bad audio is to avoid recording or editing bad audio is the reason why we are here in this class. So we're going to go through it and see all the possible ways and strategies on how to record a clean audio and even engineer it. All right. So audio is the invisible foundation of every great story. When it works, audience are transported. When it fails, nothing else can save the production. That is true. On the next slide, we have the recording dialogue and voice. Okay, if my voice is skipping, you can try restarting your network. Okay. All right. I always use the airplane mode on and off so your network will be stable. Dialogue is the backbone of storytelling. If it fails, the story fails. Every other element of production depends on clean, clear, intelligible speech captured at the source, not the one you try to edit. Okay, not the one you try to edit in post production because it may fail you. So you will always try to record a clean speech at the source, that is at the scene, all right, of your shoot or your production. All right, these are common principles of recording a dialogue. Clarity first, mic, mic proximity, all right, quiet environment, and consistency. Clarity is more important than visuals. A blurry image is tolerable. Muffled dialogue is not. Entirely is not. A mic proximity deals with how close uh, the speaker at all, as in keep the microphone close to the speaker at all times to capture direct sound. That is the proximity between that's the distance of your your microphone. We talked about it last week. If you keep your microphone close to you, all right, you will record a good sound. You will record a clear quality sound without what is it called, noisy ambience. All right, so you must always check the microphone proximity in either in order to record a close, dry, damp audio. It's important you know that. Okay. Avoid noisy environments. Prevention is always better than post production fixes. I talked about that earlier. You don't want to try to fix bad audios in post production because you will find yourself struggling. All right. Maintain consistent sound across all the shots to ensure seamless editing continuity. That is, you have to maintain the level of the audio that you are recording. Okay. You have to maintain the level of the distance of the microphone so that you have consistent audio level throughout your entire project. Whenever you are watching Hollywood movies, you notice that the audios are consistent, the levels are consistent. Yeah, post production does a lot, deals, a lot, deals with it in various ways, but the main work comes from pre production, in production, on set, from the source. So if you're able to get it from the source, you will have a very good, notable consistency during the entire production. In the entire production, sorry. The next slide, we have the microphone technique. We talked about the lavalier mic last week, the shotgun, and the smartphone mic. Lavalier mic, as we all know, is clipped to the chest. Avoid rubbing against clothing. Use tape or pouch to ensure it's uh, to ensure uh, it discreetly. All right, to ensure it discreetly. Sorry, and the shotgun is what you want to point directly at the speaker's mouth. Proximity. Okay, so that when the voice is recorded, it will first impact on the microphone before it travels. Remember, voice travels through air. Okay. And especially when you are recording an outdoor, make sure the microphone proximity is as close as it could be it horizontal, be it vertical. All right. So keep out of camera frame at all times. That is a common knowledge. Move the phone on the mic on the smartphone mic. Move the phone closer to the speaker. That is, move the phone closer to you because you always want to have a close proximity between the microphone and the speaker. That is, and the actor or the presenter or the host or the guest, whoever you may be, wherever you may find yourself. This is the key quality. How would I put it? The key strategy on recording clear quality, because if a wave image is not greater than the ambience image, you will find it difficult to edit during post-production. So the vocal of the actor or the speaker must always be louder than the ambience voice, than the ambient sound. Always. Obunna, welcome. The next slide. Common dialogue recording problems. Background noise, echo and reverb, distortion and wind, traffic, fans, crowd sound and are difficult to remove cleanly. That is why you need the main vocal. If you find yourself in this situation, the key strategy to get yourself out of it before you start recording, make sure you're clean vocal of the speaker at its highest peak, more than the background. So in post-production, you can easily use the noiser and remove it without hustle. Echo and reverb. Hard walls and empty rooms create echo that makes dialogue sound distant and unprofessional. When it makes distant, it can make your dialogue sound, it can bounce back. Sound bounces back in oil walls or in tiled walls. All right. So you always use that's why you see studios using foams, to fill the room in order to make the sound damp, and dry. All right, that's how you avoid the echo and reverb. Extra echo and reverb because you can add that in post production. Distortion and wind. Recording too loud causes distortion. Outdoor shoots face wind interferences without proper protection. That is where your windshield or windscreen comes in to play. All right, you can get a windscreen, or you can get a silky cloth and wrap it around the microphone, avoiding the part where the voice is, where the mic receives the voice. It helps. That is a DIY method on avoiding wind distortions or wind impacts. All right. The next thing, monitoring audio levels. Always, like I said earlier, monitor your audio levels. I talked about minus 15 dB, that is at its peak. But right now, we're going to be talking about ideal dialogue range. Target 12 dB to 6 dB for spoken dialogue. For a spoken dialogue, this range provides headroom without being too quiet. Okay? If you find yourself in an open space, you use 12 dB, works very well. That is 12 decibels. If you find yourself in an enclosed, that is in a room or in a studio, you can use 6 dB. All right. It works perfectly because you're already in an enclosed area. All right. The key rule, distorted audio cannot be fixed easily. Uh, Basically, it cannot be even fixed at all in some cases. Always record clean. You can boost quiet audio, but you cannot repair clipping. You can't. What to avoid? Too low introduces noise when boosted. Because if you record the vocal too low and the ambience are also recorded in that low level, if you try to boost it, the entire noise will join the main vocal. You don't want that. Too high causes distortion and clipping. So essential tools, headphones for real-time monitoring. You monitor audio meter on camera or recorder to monitor your decibels, 12 or 6 or 15 as the case may be. Test recordings before every shoot. Very classic and important. All right. Narration and voiceover. Types of voiceover: informational, documentary, emotional, film narrations, internal thoughts, and commercial voices. Each serves a distinct storytelling telling purpose. Delivery techniques: match tone to visuals, control pacing deliberately, emphasize keywords, avoid mechanical robotic readings at all costs. You want to avoid mechanical robotic readings. You don't want the voices to be, don't add any special effects. They don't add any special effects on narration and voiceover. The voice has to be clear, crispy, and damp, weighty. Okay, that is where in post production you can easily add exciter, compression, and equalizer. That is all. It doesn't add any special effects to vocal. You just make the vocal frequency to sit in the mix. All right. To the next slide. Room tone, the sound of silence. A room tone comes in different ways. All right. Room tone is the natural background silence of a location, the subtle hum of a space when no one is speaking. It is one of the most overlooked yet essential elements of professional audio production. Why it matters: smooth edits between cuts. It enables smooth edits between cuts. Sometimes a vocal can, be recorded and it comes to a particular side and it will end. You will need a room tone recording. That's quiet ambience, subtle sound to be able to continue, you know, fluidly to the next voice. It will just sound like, okay, I think the person's just stopped talking instead of the entire voice just turns off. It won't be professional. So it is always important whenever you are recording, after recording a particular scene on set, always try to record a 30 seconds room tone audio and keep it for post production purposes. Maintain audio continuity throughout a scene. How to record room tone, same location as the shoot, same microphone position. Record 30 or 60 seconds of silence. Sorry. Always, now note, always record room tone immediately after each scene, before the crew moves or equipment changes. The next scene, outdoor ambience defining, outdoor ambience, defining location. I'm sorry, fine, you can restart your network so it will give you so you can have a better signal. Yeah. Outdoor ambience, defining location. Ambient sound defines locations and makes scenes feel grounded in a real world. Without it, the best visual feels hollow and artificial. Examples: traffic, birds, chatter, market noise. Each landscape tells the audience exactly where they are, even if the audio, even if the audience are closing their eyes or turning away from the screen. All right. With that defining location sound or that ambience, they can be able to tell, okay, I think they are now in this particular scene. This is where they are. They are in the market, they are in the forest or wherever. All right. Recording tip: record longer than needed. Avoid wind interference. Stay still to prevent handling noises is important. The balance rule: ambience should be felt, not noticed. It sits beneath dialogue. Always make sure it sits beneath dialogue. This is where post production comes in. And even in real time recording, like I said, the audio will always be higher than the ambient sound. So you can totally clean it up and use the already recorded, separate recorded ambience to fix it. Adding depth without distractions. All right, that's what ambient does. Noise control. Hmm. Prevention over cure. I couldn't say it better myself. Type of noise: constant fan AC, sudden door cough, electrical hum, and wind are the most common culprits on Nigerian production set. There's a reason why I added Nigerian production set. Okay, it is it has become a common um, would I call it a common shame in many Nigerian productions, not all, but it has become a common shame because it is shameful to hear or watch a professional production coming from a professional studio with, you know, noises that were not taken care of during production. It is not professional, and it makes the audience feel immediately that there might be some low budget street side production house. It will do that to you instantly. So you don't want that. Solution: turn off noise sources before recording. Change location if necessary. Use a directional microphone to reject off axis sound. That is when you're using the long shotgun, the pole. You can, if you're noticing an interference, you can switch it immediately to the next uh, 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 direction. The golden rule: prevention is always better than fixing in post production. No software can fully restore audio ruined by noise contamination. It is noise contamination because it's, to us in sound engineering, is like a virus. has inflicted or infected your sound. The next slide, audio continuity. Audio continuity, one, is key consistence, microphone distance from speaker. All right, keep it consistent. Microphone distance from speaker, recording environment and room tone, volume level across all takes. Remember the microphone distance from speaker. Always remember how close the microphone is supposed to be from the speaker. Proximity check. Always check your proximity. All right. Without continuity, scene feels fake and disjointed. Audio jumps noticeably between cuts, pulling the audio out of the story and signaling an amateur production, that is a roadside production. All right, like your roadside vulcanizer produced a movie. Uh, I don't know if that's possible, but that is how your audience will perceive you. All right. So after to avoid your sounds, jumping unnoticeably in case if the vocal or the narration it has been cut, the room tone or the ambience that is recorded separately can help to fill that gap. When you control it by reducing the levels at a particular range, it will feel like okay, the production is still they are still rolling. I think something happened. I think the speaker just stops speaking. He wants to catch up his breath and or think of something else and then continue. So it is always important after recording the set, immediately you record that 60 um room tone or ambient sound separately. Plosive and sibilance. Plosives and sibilance. Plosives are explosive bursts from P and B sounds that overload the microphone capsule. Sibilance is the harsh, piercing quality of S sound that becomes fatiguing to listeners. The explosive sound being the distortions, some come with the P, some come with the B, which is the brrr, and some come with the S, the sh. So we have white noise, black noise. Okay, you will always have to be careful with that before recording. To fix, use a foam windscreen or pop filter, offset the mic slightly to the side of the mouth, train speaker to control breath and speech delivery. Believe me, it is always beautiful to work with professional speakers or professional people that are good in their field. It makes works easier. But you can also train people to who are not that professional to get a seamless production. That's your job as a sound engineer, a sound designer. This issue are especially common when recording in untreated rooms or big budget micro or with big budget microphones, both very common in low budget Nigerian production. They won't cease to amaze us. So to avoid plosive and sibilance, these are your fixes. ADR, re-recording dialogue. This is during post-production, where the artist looks at what he said and re-records it again in the studio. Automated dialogue replacement, that is the ADR, is the process of re-recording dialogue in a controlled studio environment after the original shot. So you can keep the vocal consistent, the vocal levels consistent. These are done to fix damaged audios. But believe me, it's harder than it looks. So you must always try to avoid this at all cost. But it is a way out. It is an option to fix your audio, where the actor will be watching himself and then repeats what he said or she said on the movie or on the scene or the video. When it is used, the original audio is too noisy, background interference is unremovable, or dialogue changes are required in post-production. It is also expensive to invite the actor or the speaker back to the studio to record what they did previously on set. It's expensive. It will cost even more money to do so. Professional reality. Major film and TV productions use ADR regularly. They do that. But the goal should always be to capture clean audio on set first. Very important. Module 3. Three key takeaways. One, record clean audio, monitor levels, capture room tone, maintain continuity. These are three key levels. These are the first takeaway that you need. All right. Always, always. If you have this continuity maintenance in mind, you will avoid a lot of mistakes that will happen in post production. So, as a sound designer, it is your job to envision what post production will sound like. It is your full time job. All right. Ambience depth is like when you've recorded an ambient sound after recording him during post production, you you lower or you decrease the volume so it will sit beneath the voice. It will become the depth of the main dialogue voice. All right. It gives off that natural feeling without the main, because after treating the original voice, that is the main vocal, maybe you've added the noiser and some equalizer, maybe you've compressed it. Okay. When you have done all these things, there will be zero ambience. So you will now use the ambience that you have recorded already on set to replace that background sound. And now you can control it to have depth, to sit in the audio mix. All right. So you run away from any cluster, ambience cluster in future. Every great audio production is built on these four pillars. Master them on set, and your post production workflow becomes dramatically simpler and faster. Introduction to music in media. Music is the shortcut to emotion. It tells the audience how to feel before they even process what they are seeing. Model 4 explores how music functions as a storytelling tool for background scoring, scene position, timing, balance, and copyright awareness. Believe me, you have to be very aware of copyright. So in every music production you want to do for every music you want to use for your uh, video or your movie or your set, whatever, make sure it is an original production. Make sure it is an original composition to avoid it being flagged in the digital space or offline, either online or offline. Make sure nobody can lay copyright claim on it. So produce your own music, you know, contract a producer in a studio and produce your own music so you can use it for your post production. The role of music in storytelling: it creates tension, one, it builds emotion, it guides reaction, and enhances storytelling. All right. Music builds dread and anticipation before any visual is before anything visually threatens before anything visually threatening appears on screen. All right. It's a simple melody can make an audience cry, laugh, or feel nostalgic within seconds. Music directs how the audience interprets ambiguous scenes and character motivation. Enhanced storytelling: music reinforces themes, foreshadows events, and deepens the narrative layer of any production. Next slide. Background music versus theme music. Background music supports the scene without drawing attention to itself. It is subtle, atmospheric, and designed to enhance mood rather than be noticed consciously by the audience. A theme music, a memorable, recurring musical identity that presents a character, story, or brand. Think of the instantly recognizable theme from major Nollywood productions. That's what music does. They define the entire work. They call it the theme music or the theme soundtrack. All right. Anyways, that is what it is. Uh, the the emotional impact of music. The same scene with different music, with the same scene with different music creates an entirely different meaning. Music is the most powerful emotional lever a filmmaker controls. Sorry, lever a filmmaker controls. Music type: slow piano, fast beats, low tones for drums, orchestral swells, that is, swells to transition. Emotion invoked music. The slow piano produces sadness, grief, and longing. Fast beats produces excitement, energy, and urgency. Low tone and drones produces fear, dread, and unease. Orchestral swells, creates heroism, triumph, and grandeur. Like fanfare music, it's always for is used for victory sound. Timing music with visual. Hit points. One, match music accent to on-screen action. Match musical accents to on-screen action. A punch, a door slam, a reveal. These are effects. Two, the fade in and out. Gradually introduce or remove music to avoid jarring transition between scenes like clusters. You don't want that. You want it to smoothly fade out and the next one will fade in. Crescendo: build musical intensity to heighten tension before a climatic moment. That is pausing. It is important to pause. Four, sudden stop. Cutting music abruptly creates shock, silence, and powerful dramatic impacts. Someone is asking if they can copy. I think I believe the files are available in the Link School app. You can access it there. Next slide, music volume and balance. One, ambience, lowest priority, felt, not heard. I talked about it earlier. Two, sound effects, support action and realism, like the doors, the scream, the punch, and all that. Three, Music, emotional layer, never overwhelm speech. 4. Dialogue, always the highest priority, must remain clear and balanced. Dialogue must always be clear. Every other audio element serves the spoken word. Next thing, the power of silence. Sometimes silence is stronger than the music. Suspense. Silence before a scare or revelation is more effective than any musical sting. Suspension. Emotion. Removing music at a peak emotional moments forces the audience to sit with raw feeling. Focus. Silence draws attention to a single word or image with lesser precision. Power of silence. It can go a long way. Ah, the next slide, diegetic versus the non-diegetic music. Of course, we know the diegetic music, that's the music that exists within the world of the story. Characters can hear it. Examples, a radio playing in a scene, a live band at a party, and a character singing. The non-diegetic is the music only the audience hear, the background score. Characters are unaware of it. This is the most common form of music in film and television. Understanding this distinction helps filmmakers make intentional, meaningful choices about how music interacts with their story world. Next slide, music genres and their uses. The genre, orchestra, best used for epic, dramatic, heroic scenes. Electronic, best used for sci-fi, futuristic, and tech themes. Hip hop, Afro beats, best used for youth culture, energy, and urban setting. Acoustic and folk, best used for emotional, intimate, and personal moments. Percussion and drums, best used for action sequences, chase scenes. Music transitions. We have four types of music transition. That is the fade in, one, the crossfade, two, fade out, three, and four, the hard cut. The fade in is the music gradually rising from silence, smooth, natural entry. Crossfade, one track fades out as another fades in. This is a crossfade. As this one is descending, the other is ascending just above it. Okay. The fade out music gradually drops to silence, gently controlled exit. Number four, the hard cut. Abrupt stop or start, used for dramatic effect and shock. Poor transition creates an amateur feel. Master these for techniques before attempting anything more complex. Master these. Master these. The fade in, crossfade, fade out, hard cuts. It makes a huge difference in music transition. Huge one. And I mean it. Copyright awareness. Do not use one. Do not use copyrighted songs without written permissions. Sorry there. Do not use copyrighted songs without written permission. Popular commercial tracks on YouTube or social media, stay away from them, run away from them, even when they write no copyright. Don't try it. Music from streaming platforms in your production, run away from it. The safe alternative, royalty free music libraries, not from YouTube. I will advise against it. Visit royalty stock websites. They will tell you the music that are already been bought and licensed and the ones that are not. Properly licensed tracks, produce your own and license it. Original composition, produce your own. Exactly. This is a risk of violation. There's a risk of violation. All right. Video, video removal from platforms, loss of monetization. The best way in all this, please, the best way in all this, produce your own music. Or these days, you can pay AI to generate the kind of music you want for your movie or for your scene. It depends on the kind of uh, it depends on uh, the kind of movie or video you're creating. You can meet your local producer to produce tracks that have the kind of cultural sound you need. All right. So always visiting the local producers goes a long way because you can stay side by side in the studio and trash things out. All right. And the best way to work for the film. In fact, the both of you can be watching the film and the music production will be made according to the scenes. And then you can carry that master over to your post production for the video. So, in order not to risk the violation of video removal from platforms, loss of monetization, please use original compositions. Okay, next scene, leitmotif. That is music as identity. Leitmotif, music as identity. A leitmotif is a recurring musical theme linked to a character, idea, or emotion, making stories more memorable. Is it a sound that you link to a character? All right, even like it's a movie, there's whenever a particular character appears as like the main character, you use the leitmotif to, to always call up that character. That is music as identity. Please, if your microphone is on, I can hear some sounds. You can turn the microphone off, not the video, the mic. Character leitmotif. A specific melody plays whenever a character appears, building instant recognition and emotional association over time. Idea, theme, leitmotif, a recurring musical phrase tied to a concept, love, danger, or home that deepens meaning each time it returns. So leitmotif music are very good for identify. If you're shooting a movie that you want that has this main character identity, is the main character always is has this build up on the movie, this presence. Leitmotif music is your strategy on that kind of scene or movie. Hi there, why are you sad? The next scene, module four, four key takeaways. Okay, all right. Module four, key takeaways. Now, the role of music. Are you serious? You are. Why are you bringing Ghana into this matter now? We are not doing sacrifice something. Okay. The role of music controls emotion and perception.
Baba,
Back,
in kai mot,
background.
ka kunna abu ne on mot kuma ka kashe ko? Mot. In ka dan mot. Ka kunna
Zara,
abu ne on mot kuma ka
Samalia,
kashe.
your microphone is on. Can you turn it off? Zarau, Samaila, you can turn your microphone off. Thank you. Background versus theme.
Na? Naga.
Are you kidding me? Sorry. If you have your microphone turned on, please, can you mute it? Please, can you mute your microphone, please? Hey, Prince. Prince Ugoza, welcome. The person that his microphone is on or her microphone is on, please, can you, mute it, please? It is disturbing others. Background music versus theme. It creates a subtle support versus memorable identity. We are in key takeaways. Emotional impact. Same scene, different music, different meaning. Thank you, Prince. Good evening to you. Timing. Timing. Hit points, fades, crescendo, hard cuts. Volume. Volume balance. Volume balance. Dialogue always first. Dialogue always first. That is, the dialogue must be bigger or higher than every other sound or music, ambience, whatever. Copyrights. Use. I think the sound is coming from Musa Sani. Musa Sani, please mute, okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Copyrights. Use royalty-free or licensed music. My advice, produce your content, produce your music using local music producers. It will help you for future purposes. I know why I'm saying it. Produce your own sound. It is important. Produce your own sound using your local music producers. Visit them in the studios to help. The next thing, slide, sorry. Mobile and low budget audio. Professional audio quality is achievable without expensive equipment. Module 7 covers practical techniques for recording clean, usable audios using smartphones and budget tools. Essential skills for Nigerian independent filmmakers and content creators. SP. Now, recording with smartphone in module 7. Strengths, limitation, and best practices. The strengths in recording with smartphone is portable and always available. It is mobile, easy to operate without training, okay? Accessible to every filmmaker. Limitations and best practices. Picks up noises easily. You cannot avoid that. You can't avoid that. Believe me, I've tried on different occasions. Record in quiet spaces. That is the only place it works. But for outdoor, no. Poor distance control. Always move closer. Avoid touching the phone around during recording. It is a no-go area. Hmm? The single most effective improvements for smartphone audio: move the phone closer to the speaker's mouth. Not too close. Not too close, because if you move too close, you have distortions. Smartphones comes with wave image signals these days. So you can look at the kind of wave signal you are recording these days, especially smartphones and this iPhones and this new model of Android that was released this year. Okay. Thank you, Haida. External microphones for mobile. Okay, this is crucial. All right, for mobile recordings. Lavalier, that's your clip mic. Clips to clothing, ideal for interviews and dialogue, keeps hands free and stays close to the speaker without interference. Shotgun, directional pickup, rejects off-axis noises, best for control environments and narrative filmmaking. USB mic, plug and play for desktop or tablet recording. They are USB microphones. Excellent for voiceover and podcast style narration. It, Zara, we can hear you. Zara, we can hear you. Please turn your mic off. Earphone mic, budget-friendly option, better than the built-in phone microphone when placed closer to the speaker's mouth. You know, the earphone mic, the one that comes with your phone, put your earphone and then with the microphone, and then you record with it. All right. The core advantage: closer sound always equals cleaner audios. Always proximity. Closer sounds always equals cleaner audios. Not too close to avoid distortion. All right. We're in the DIY acoustics. DIY, do-it-yourself sound control. All right. Reduce echo using household items. Hang curtains or blankets on walls. Place carpets or rugs on hard floors. Surround the recording area with pillows or foams. Use furniture to break up reflective surfaces like the tiled area and all that. So the sound will not reflect, because if a sound cannot pass through a hard substance, it will bounce back to your microphone. It will reflect, and you will be recording a double voice. One, it will be recording within an ms, a millisecond. Thus, you will hear your main vocal with a delayed lower vocal that will be interrupting the recording. Best locations: small and furnished rooms, wardrobes filled with clothing, carpets, carpets spaced with soft furnishings, carpeted spaces with soft furnishes. Is all right, Zara? A wardrobe full of clothes is one of the best free recording booths available. For your home recording, you want to rush into your wardrobe and use your phone to record there. It will give you the dry, damp recording you need. All right. Wind control for outdoor recording. Foam windscreen. Attach a foam cover or dead cat to the microphone to reduce wind noise significantly during outdoor shoots. 2. Body shield. Use your body or a wall as a natural wind barrier. It works because sound traveled with air, through air. So if somebody is recording before you, you can stand to cover the microphone. So before the sound travels to the microphone, the voices are being picked up. Position yourself between the wind source and the microphone. Haida is asking how she can write an attendance. Can someone help her? A record behind objects. Vehicles, buildings, and trees can block wind. Scout locations with natural wind protection before recording. Always scout your locations, always, before recording. Module 7, recording interviews on a budget. 1. Keep the mic close. Position the microphone with 30 cm of the speaker's mouth for clean, direct sound capture. Choose a quiet location. Scout the interview location in advance. Avoid areas with traffic, generators, or crowd noises. Noise. 3. Always test first. Record a 30-second test and listen back through the headphones before the real interview begins. Yes, a silky handkerchief will do a good job. Okay. Prince, you are asking, yeah, a silky, there's a cotton handkerchief, uh, a silky handkerchief. That is, the handkerchief that's made with silk. Yeah, a silky handkerchief is your DIY to shield or guard your microphone effectively. Module 7. Backup recording. Never lose your audio. Always. I have been there. I have been there. You don't want to be in that position. Always record backup. If audio fails, production fails. Backup strategies. Use a second recording device simultaneously. Record to both phone and external recorder. Check recordings immediately after each take. Using handkerchief in the phone will be dicey. If you can stitch a handkerchief, you can meet a tailor to shape the handkerchief for you. Okay, you can meet a tailor to shape the phone size and tailor it. Use the handkerchief and tailor it. Tailor the phone size. You can slide that handkerchief to fit the phone without it shaking. It's a good DIY. Use a second recording. Okay, where was I? Sorry. Check recordings immediately after each take. Never delete original files until the project is complete. Never do that. Oh, I have finished. Be like, oh, I have finished uh, recording, or we have finished doing this. I've given them the work. I have, you have sent your work over to the maybe to the producer of the movie or the producer of the video, the footage, and you say, okay, I've finished working. I've done mine. I will delete the file. Don't do that because they may still lose the files and they will come back to you. So make sure the production is complete and has been posted before, all right, and has been posted or published before you can go on and delete. In some cases, I leave the files with me for about 3 to 4 months or 5 before deleting. And before I would delete, I would tell my clients, all right, or my crew or wherever I'm working in the company, that hey, I am deleting the raw files. I hope you guys still have it. Once they affirm they have it, you can go on and delete it for your own, to make space for your system or storage. A single failed audio file can halt an entire production. Redundancy is not optional. It is a professional practice. SP. All right. Audio file management. Organize by type. Rename immediately. Back your work. Now, this can be simple, but very important. If you don't organize the type of audio you've recorded or rename them immediately, you are going to have a very big issue in sorting your audio. You don't want to be there. An audio can be lost and there will be, looking at you. You can be looking at an audio, you can be searching for an audio and it'll be staring at you, at your face. No, it will be before you, but you won't be able to do anything. You can't find it. You'll be running helter skelter. So it is important that first, after recording, if you're recording an outdoor scene, create a file or a folder for that scene. Okay? Name it immediately and record everything inside that folder. Once you're going to another scene, create another folder for that scene, rename it, and record everything inside of it. Create separate folders for dialogue, music, ambience, and sound effects from the very beginning of every project. That is why they have project outlines. Rename immediately. Rename every file right after recording. Generic names like audio 001 cause confusion and lost files in post-production. Name it, call it what it is. Call the audio what it is. Don't use the audio 001 or 002. It will mess you up later. Don't do that. Back up your work. Copy all your files to a second driver or cloud storage at the end of every recording, a recording day without exception. Always do this. 7. Sorry. Check this out. All right. Recording apps for mobile audio. Recording apps for mobile audio. This is for your phone. Dolby On, BandLab, Easy Voice Recording. These are good recording apps for your mobile audio recording. Professional grade noise reduction. That is Dolby. Dolby On gives you a professional grade noise reduction and audio enhancement built into a free mobile app. Ideal for voice recording and interviews. BandLab is a full multi-track recording and mixing on mobile, useful for music production, and layering audio elements on a budget. Easy Voice Recorder is a simple, reliable voice recording with format control, better quality, and more control than the default phone recorder app. All right. Dedicated recording apps provide significant better control over sample rates, formats, and gain than default phone apps. All right, module 7. Key takeaways again. Get close, keep the mic near the source. Control environment. Use DIY acoustic fixes. Record backups. Record backup. Capture a redundant take. Manage files. Organize and label immediately. Prince, you're asking if there's an app best for dual sound and video recording. Yes, there's apps. There are apps. There's an app for video recording. There's a very good app. Is Black Magic. It's called Black Magic. You can find it on App Store. But I think it works best for Apple phones. Okay, iPhones. That's where Black Magic works because it will now Apple phone uses logs. It can record raw log files. So that's and best app for dual sound recording for dual sound. Yeah, I don't think I have encountered apps for dual sound. I think BandLab gives multi track audios. But this is I don't more BandLab. Okay, BandLab can record multi. That is, if you're using a pin-up mic, two pin-up mics, that is lavalier mics, tag it to uh different speakers, insert it on the phone, and then choose the inputs in BandLab app, so you can record their voices at the same time in separate channel. Yeah, BandLab has that capability. All right, Prince Ugu Wazo. All right. This is a practical activity overview. Hands-on practice is the only way to truly master audio production. All right. So we are going over uh, the following activities are designed to build real-world skills across dialogue, voiceover, levels, room tone, ambience, mixing music, and mobile recording. Will try my best as I can. Dialogue and voice-over practices. Dialogue scene. Record a short scripted scene between two speakers. Focus on microphone placement, consistent levels, and capturing room tone between takes. 2. Voice over narration. Record narrations for a short video clip. Practice matching tone to visuals, controlling pacing, and emphasizing keywords naturally. This is a take on a hands-on practice you could do. You will do. Audio level exercises. Record the same line at 3 levels: too low, too high, and correct. 12 to 6 decibels dB. Compare the results and identify distortion and noise. Look at this in 2 minutes. Let's move to the next slide. You can screenshot it. A minute, please. Zara Samaila, your audio, your mic is on. Can you mute it? Okay, the next slide. Room tone and ambience activity. Room tone recording. Record 30 seconds of silence in your recording location. Listen back and identify the subtle sound that defines the space. The subtle sound that defines the space of where you are. These are essential for editing continuity, like we said before. Record 30 seconds to 30 to 60 seconds of ambience after every recording. It will help train your ears on what room tones actually feel, because there are different types of tones that operates in different frequencies. Okay? Outdoor ambience. Record ambient sound from 3 different outdoor locations: a market, a street, a school, compound. Compare how each soundscape defines a different sense of places. All right. So take a look, screenshot this. Let's go over to the next one. All right. To the next slide. Sound mixing activity. Very important. Sound designers, sound engineers, you have to understand sound mixing activity. So you have to do this. All right. Record dialogue. Capture a short spoken scene with clean audio at the correct level. Add the ambience. That's record the dialogue separately. Add the ambience. Layer outdoor or room ambience beneath the dialogue track in your editing software. Balance levels. Adjust ambience volume so it is felt but not noticed. Haida, you can't hear me? I am on. Oh, but hello? Please, if anybody cannot hear me, you can indicate, okay? Can you hear me? All right. Okay. Now, number 3, adjust ambience volume so it is felt but not noticed. Dialogue must remain clear and dominant. Review and refine. Number 4, review and refine, sorry. Listen on headphones and speaker. Adjust until the mix feels natural and immersive. One of the best practices, try and watch CNN programs or Al Jazeera programs on YouTube using your headphones, so you can be able So you will notice how their sounds, how the ambience is placed, the level, the music level, all right, and the special effects level. That is for that program. It can help. It can help. So screenshot this so we can go over to the next. Oh dear. Haida, you can restart your. Haida, you can restart your. Haida, you can restart your network. All right, so the next slide. Music activities. Compare scenes with different music. Number one, watch the same 60 seconds clip with different music tracks. Document how each changes your emotional response and interpretation of the scene. Two, match music to emotion. Given a list of emotions, select appropriate music track from a royalty-free library and justify each choice with reference to tempo, tone, and instrumentation. Three, practice fade in and out. Add music to a scene and practice smooth fade in at start and fade out at the end. Then try a hard cut and compare the dramatic effect. Screenshot this so we can go start over. So we can continue. Okay, to the next slide. Mobile audio activity. Phone versus external mic. Record the same dialogue using only the phone mic, then with an external lavalier, that is a pinup mic, compare quality side by side and document the difference. Environment comparison. Record the same narration in 3 environments: outdoor, a hard-walled room, and a furnished room. Analyze how acoustic affects clarity. Analyze how acoustics affect clarity. 3. DIY acoustic improvements. Set up a DIY recording space using curtains, pillows, and carpets. Record before and after the setup and compare the reduction in echo and noise. You can screenshot this. We have 10 seconds. Let's screenshot so I'll move over. Don't forget to share with your other colleagues. Okay. The next slide, we have the invisible art of audio. Bad video looks amateur, bad audio feels unwatchable. Audio is invisible, but its absence is impossible to ignore. Every technique in discourse exists to serve one goal: making your audience believe completely in the world you have created. Audio sound creates this virtual scene in the mind. Okay, Module 3, deep dive, our dialogue recaps, what we just did. Clarity first, mic proximity, quiet environment, using 12 to 6 decibel for consistent level, room tone, noise control, audio continuity, recording audio and ambient separately, plosive surveillance control for distortion and white noise, and ADR as a last result. Please, somebody's audio is microphone is on. I don't know who that is. If it is you, please can you turn it off? Can you turn it off? All right. This is our deep dive slide for music recap. First, emotions, roles, types, background versus theme, diegetic versus non-diegetic, emotional impact, slow piano, sad, fast beats, excited, timing, hit points and fade, balance, dialogue priority, leitmotif, recurring identity for a particular actor, copyright royalty free. Always produce your own audio in the studio. Use your local music producer. Because there's something, some of the AI music, is kind of a tip off. There's something some of the AI music production does. There's always a terms and conditions whenever you are logging in or you are signing up to an AI um, music generator. Take out your time as a sound designer and always read the terms and conditions of audio of AI audio generator. You will see percentage of and royalty schemes there because the music is not entirely your own. The company that produces that music for you, that company that owns that AI, has a huge part on the after royalty, but you wouldn't know because you didn't read the you didn't read the terms and conditions there. Okay, that is why I am saying produce your own music yourself in the studio. Okay, to avoid future issues. But don't get me wrong or twisted. AI is good in generating some good music, emotions, and sounds, or even music. But when we are talking about why we are in this class is to learn a skill and make money out of it, short term, long term. So to be on the safer side, produce your music yourself. If you can't produce your music, use your local producers, music producers in the studio, and produce your sounds. Mobile audio recap. Best practices, move closer, quiet space, no touching, external mics, lavalier, shotgun, USB ear, audio backup and management, DIY acoustics, interview tips, audio kits, wind control. Why dialogue is always a priority, number one. People may watch with their eyes, but they believe with their ears. Every mixing decisions, music volume, ambience level, sound effects placement must protect the clarity of dialogue. When audience cannot understand what characters are saying, the story collapses entirely, regardless of how beautiful the visuals are. So, concept check. The ambience, the invisible glue. See, that's what ambience is. That's invisible continuity, is a glue. Christy, you're asking what about YouTube free music? Don't do it. Don't do it. Majority of the sounds you hear, they are copyrighted unless you are trying to download some for radio presentations, which is an offline usage. You can use some of those YouTube free music. But if it is for audio, for digital publishing, in order to make money in the future, leave music. Instead, if you cannot use your local producers, go to royalty royalty free websites to download musics that other producers has produced. Buy them. If you see free ones, but once you download the free ones, check if that free music or sound has been licensed by somebody else. Because what they do, what some of these guys do, this is my 18 years in music in sound engineering. Yeah. What some of these guys do is they go to download to all these sites where this music you can download all this free royalty music from. And when they download it, they will go and register it, copyright it themselves. But the major producer opened it for free, sent it or published it for free. But someone will download it for free and license it and hold the copyrights. There's something called the um, IRPS, all right, and the UPC code. This is for music licensing code. Once the person that owns that code is the person that owns that music. Okay, so if somebody comes and flags your sound, and you start shouting, "Hey, this is a free licensed sound. How can you do that? How can you do this?" And he takes you to court, and you are making your arguments that this is a free license. I downloaded it, and all he needs to present is the UPC code or the ISRC code. Once he produces those codes, they are about 11 in number. You are cooked. You are cooked. You are now under his or her mercy. Okay? So, ambience, the invisible glue. What ambience does? Makes scene feel believable and grounded, connects edits edits so connect edits to cut feel seamless. Add special depth to any location. Prevent the unnatural dead silence between cuts. The balance rule. Ambience should be felt, not noticed. If an audience member consciously hears the background sound, it is too loud. The goal is subconscious immersion. The feeling is being in a real place. You can use Christy, if you after creating a music to license it, you can use publishing sites. I can meet a publisher if you don't know how to do that. There are publishers out there. You can use DistroKid. You can use Amuse. All right. You can use Amuse. I think it's called amuse.com. I think it's amuse.io something. Yeah, something like this. You can publish your music there and obtain your UPC code and ISRC code. There are a lot. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of music publishing sites where you can publish and obtain your copyright code. That I believe that answers your question, Christy. Music tells the audience how to feel. Music is the filmmaker's most powerful emotional tool. It operates below conscious awareness, shaping how audience interpret every scene. The same footage with different music becomes a completely different story. A thriller becomes a romance. A tragedy becomes triumph. Always ask, what do I want the audience to feel right now? Then choose the music that answers the question. Okay. All right. Sorry. Prevention versus post-production fixes. Prevention versus post-production fixes. On-set prevention, post-production reality, the professional standard. On-set preventions, you already know what it is. Turn off noise sources, choose quiet locations, use directional mics, monitor levels, record room tone. These actions take minutes and save hours. Post-production reality, noise reduction software can help, but never fully restores damaged audios. You don't want to have damaged audios. Distortion cannot be repaired. ADR is expensive and time consuming. I said it before. It's expensive. It will cost more money to do, to produce. The professional standard. Professionals prevent problems. Beginners try to fix them. Adopt the professional mindset from your very first production. Concept check. Copyright. Protect your work. Using copyrighted music without permission is one of the most common and costly mistakes made by Nigerian content creators. A single copyright claim can result in video removal, loss of all monetization, or a channel strike. I've cried. Produce your own sound. Always verify the license of every piece of music before publishing. I didn't know it's not a legal defense on any platform. Nobody will listen to you. They set these things as traps. They do it on purpose. They'll just set it as traps. Delete morph in particular. Desmond ask, what is it? How to use it? A recurring musical theme linked to a specific character idea or emotion. Each time it plays, it carries the accumulated emotional weight of every previous appearances. Yes, I said you can to use to get your copyright licenses. You need to publish your song online or using a copyright a publisher. Like there's a site, there's a web address I used. I play this is Amuse. Okay, you can use Amuse, DistroKid, Ditto. Uh, 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 a lot. There are a lot. There are hundreds, thousands, if not so. Or let me just say hundreds to be on the safer side. How to use Litmorph in practice. Introduce the theme early in the story. Repeat it as a key emotional moment. Vary the arrangement to reflect character development. Use a fragment of it for a foreshadow event. If you have watched Dracula, they use this strategy in Dracula. Before Dracula appears, there is a Litmorph sound that has been tailored to Dracula. All right. So if you have watched the Dracula movie or some of these Evil Dead movies by Bruce Campbell in the 90s, most of the movies here in the 20 in the 20s too. You can check if a sound is copyrighted by going to Google. You can just search on your search engine, check sites to check copyright music. Google will just bring up the sites. All you need to do is to load the music with the name, everything, load the music there. It will search and it will search the song on every copyrighted platform and tell you if it is free for usage or not. If it is free, you find it to be a free. If you find it to be free, the next thing to do is to license it yourself. Okay? License it to be on the safer side. Vary the arrangement to reflect character development. Use a fragment of it to foreshadow events. Skill assessment, what you should know to be able to do. Record clean dialogue, control your environment, use music intentionally, produce on any budget. That is one. That is it. All right. These are the self-assessment checklists. Okay. You can still access these informations. I will upload it at the, I think I have done the Link School app. All right. Understanding the ideal recording level, 12 to 60 decibels. I can identify and eliminate common noises sources before recording. All this, you get them at the Link School app for further usages. All right. Just you, this self-assessment is important, please. All right. You get this in the Link School app, do the assessments, checklist them, and submit. Very important you do so. Career application, audio skills in the Nigerian media industry. Nigeria's media industry, from Nollywood to digital content creation, radio, podcasting, and advertising, demands professionals who understand audio. Strong audio skills differentiate good content from a great content and open doors across every sector of the creative economy. It is ethical to license a free music that was published free. People do it. All right? People do it. I have downloaded a free music. I have downloaded a music that was published, that the publisher gave out for free. And I found out on YouTube that someone else has copyrighted the same free audio for himself. So whenever you're trying to use the audio, you are literally paying the guy. All right. So they do it. But to be on the safer side, I will say it again, produce your own sound. Use your local music producers. It goes along, it saves you years of stress because you might not encounter the problem now. 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, 10 years later, you just see the stuff in on your face. And then you will weep. Where these skills take you: film and TV production, sound recordists, boom operators, dialogue editors, and re-recording mixers role in Nollywood and broadcast television. They are there, podcasting and radio. All right, digital content creation. These are 3 places that these skills are needed. And also, it is also needed when it comes to film production. Is like in this, I'll place it in this category: sound stage management for events, music concerts, or anything. This same skill can be used there. All right, especially for events, programs, outdoor programs. This skills is also needed there. The master teaching line: bad video looks amateur, bad audio feels unwatchable. Audio is invisible, but its absence is impossible to ignore. Carry these 2 truths into every production you ever make. They are the foundation of everything covered in this course, and the standard every professional audio practitioner holds themselves to. Okay? Very important. All right. If there are, I will take 5 more questions before I close. If there are any. I'm waiting. If there are questions, I can take 5 more questions before I will go. I know some people have been asking some questions, but if there are more, you can um, indicate or ask before I say sayonara. Aida, you still don't hear? Okay, Ifeanyi Chukwu asked, can copyright be manipulated without noticing from the license office? Well, it can be manipulated, but there's something they call the XML file, dump file in every audio. Hmm? Every audio you listen to, like music, there's something called the XML dump file. It's like after I have produced, I'm a music producer, yeah. So after I produce the music using my DAW, that is my digital audio workstation, I can tick that XML, and then what it does is that I register my name, that I am the producer of this song. I did this and this to the song. This is the year I produced. This is the hour. This is the minute. This is when I did everything. I published it in I'll publish this song in audio using Muse or using Ditto. I'll put a lot of informations in that audio and save it and master it. You will not see it in the name. It's a kind of a technology. It's like dropping a code in an audio. You will not see the name there. But the owner, whenever the owner types his name in Google, that audio will come out. And everybody who have used it, so he can start collecting royalties from all of them. A lot of producers don't do it, but a lot of producers do it as well. I don't usually do it for people who have already paid me for production. So when people pay me for production, I don't use it because the content is fully their own. All right. So that is if you want to manipulate a licensed audio, the answer is no, don't. Adakaike Chuku, the ambience is what you record an ambience separately and record your audio separately, and then layer the ambience below the audio and control it until it's not noticeable, until it becomes a feeling under the audio. All right. Link School app, I'm not seeing any assignments anytime I log in, only the videos. Okay, I'll talk to the management for that. Please, can Juliet Ogochukwu is asking, how can you explain more about how the audio transition works, the fade in, the fade out? How do you reduce an audio in a particular scene when then increase it in another scene without affecting the whole video? Well, if you are using a tool uh, like um like a software like Adobe Premiere, I'm responding to Juliet Ogochukwu. You When you merge two audios together in Premiere Pro, and you come to the middle, to the center of that audio that you merged together and right click, you will see fade in transition. Click on it, it will create a fade in transition between the two audios. So once this one is ending, the other one is continuing. Okay. It is the same pattern in many of the softwares out there. Adaka Ikechukwu is asking, this copyright, this is my last question that I'll take. This copyright, is it also applicable to all these songs we are hearing? Every song. copyright is applicable to every song, even sound effects, even door slams. Some people can create door slams, pitch, some different sound effects and just pack all of them in a particular file and copyright them and put them out there and tell you it is free. So whenever you use it, they might not flag you, but the company, there's a company called BMI, they will be sharing, this thing. You'll be sharing the royalties with you. You will have the major royalties, but they will collecting, I think, about 1% or 0 point something percent. Okay. Haida, how do you record 30 to 60 seconds for room tone? It's just an audio, it's just a recording. Once you click you press record and record without anybody saying anything. Just the room tone. Every other slim sound that is there, you just record the sound from the room. That's it. That's just it. Once you record it for 60 or 30 or 60 seconds, you just count the seconds. And once it does that, 60 seconds is 1 minute now. So that's it. So that is it for today. Thank you very much for being part of this class. My name is Mr. L again, and I'll see you this week for another class. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you on Wednesday. Yeah. So thank you very much for being a part of this. No, when I say Mr. L, I mean this is is this way. You can spell my name this way. Okay. Yeah, Prince Ugozo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Heritage is saying, please, Mr. L, what can I answer you? Is there anything I can answer for you? Juliet, thank you very much. Thank you. Aida, thank you. All right, I would see you guys on Wednesday. Just correcting myself about the name errors. Okay. Okay. I think I'll laugh at that. Okay. All right. See you everyone.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Olivier, well done. SB.